Hello, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to create this cool CRT style texture effect on your images, typography, logos, artwork, whatever you want to import into Dither Boy. You don't need any Photoshop or any textures or actual asset to import onto an image for this. You are going to create the texture with your image using dithering. Now, just to give you a little bit of context or background, I'll show you some examples on screen, but the effect that we are aiming to replicate here comes from a CRT because CRT screens have this coating on the inside of lots of little tiny groups of 3 different materials that each glow 3 different colors when the TV is turned on. Obviously those colors being red, green and blue. And so when we set up this dithering effect, we are basically going to aim to create a dither where the pattern is creating these little groups of red, green and blue, sort of repeating through your image. If you are new here or if you're unfamiliar with Dither Boy, this is a one-time purchased software. We've done loads of updates and the stuff I'm going to show you today is possible because of one of the new updates we just did. So we're always getting new effects and stuff into this app, and you can do much more in here than just what I'm going to show you today. But I'll leave everything Dither Boy related linked below. So to begin with, I have got the PS2 logo open here, and the first thing you're going to want to do is load the GRIDLOCK dither. As you can see, this kind of, if you listen to what I just said, you might sort of see where this is going. This has the building blocks here for the patterns of 3 that we're going to use. Obviously at a lower scale like where it's at now, it looks kind of stupid, but if you up the scale to something really high like 50, 49, 48, and you get this fine pattern going through the entire design, that's sort of where we're going to need it here. I'm going to go leave my scale at 49. Obviously you can set it where you want, just don't leave it too chunky like this. Next, if you come down to adjustments and just move your brightness all the way up to 200 and then just pull it back down. You don't need to do anything with brightness, but this is hopefully just going to let you see a little bit about how this dither effect is working. This isn't like a diffusion effect where there is lots of different types of arrangements or patterns that can happen. It really is just one pattern from the GRIDLOCK. So it's kind of quite a rigid dither. You can see if we move these controls and make big changes, not much really happens, which is ideal because later on you are going to be able to make subtle changes without ruining the entire effect. So first thing to do is click this plus and go to Chromatic effects, toggle it on, and it's up to you really how you want to do this, but this is where we're going to get our red, green and blue from. If you do max displace at 20 and just literally drag the red channel all the way out and the blue channel all the way in and then move the max displace down, that is one way of creating the red, green and blue arrangement. But if I reset that and toggle it back on again, and if I only go to like 12 or 10, and if I just knock the red out a little bit, up the green by just a little bit as well, and then like lower the blue quite a lot, you'll see this is a whole different type of pattern. The simple nature of the GRIDLOCK dither lets us do more with the chromatic aberration, because if you keep iterating this, you will just continue to get different patterns. So if I up the max displace to 19, that's a whole different pattern to 8 or 3 or 5. This is one you'll come back to later on in the tutorial. This is a really cool pattern, but I'm going to leave mine where I had it before at 12. But just remember that's there as one of the levers that you can pull for this effect. Next, I'm going to go and add an epsilon glow and just toggle that on. You're probably going to get the same result as me when you toggle this on, which is a green glow. Now, I'm going to make a whole video on this, but basically red, green and blue all contribute to luminance differently. And this threshold slider for epsilon glow is asking you basically how bright does a pixel have to be before it is included in the glow output. Digitally, we measure brightness in luminance. So if I just toggle this off now and zoom in all the way till it's really blurry, obviously you will see that the blue pixels here are naturally darker than the red pixels, and the red pixels are naturally darker than the green. We've got some overlap where there's white and yellow coming in, which is going to be where there is part of a blue pixel, part of a red and part of a green lining up. Ignore that for this. That's one of the natural artifacts or like unintended consequences that we need from this effect. But basically with epsilon glow, it's going to be easier for you to catch the greens in a glow than it is the blues. So you're going to want to go for a low threshold here, which is going to include everything in. And then what we'll do is we'll just tone down the glow so that it's not too overpowering or just like ruining the effect. So I'm going to up the intensity, but I'm not going to do too much with things like distance scale or epsilon, just so it stays nice and subtle on the outskirts of the logo here. For you, if you're working with an image, you might want to just change the distance scale so that it's not too blown out. Obviously, I've got a black background to lean on here. If you don't have that, just work with the distance scale a little bit until your glow is like legible and not a mess, basically. So now we've set these up, I'm going to come back into my dither settings and I'm going to start setting up a color palette. So there's a couple of different ways you can do it. I'm probably just going to try and build one based on my memory of what the PlayStation 2 logo looks like. But obviously you could go and load in like something like this, which will begin to color it for you. These look quite cool, like bubblegum, or any of these really. A lot of these look cool. This one, Dawn, is pretty close to the PlayStation color scheme anyway. But yeah, I'm going to reset to monochrome. And if you're doing a PlayStation 2 thing with me, I'm going to leave my black because I need that for the background. And then the first color I'm just going to enter, we'll do red. And when you hit add color, just make sure you remember to then up the color depth. So next color, kind of like a light blue for this section here of the sort of backdrop of the logo. It's already starting to color that in a little bit. And yeah, if I'm doing the PlayStation effect, I only really need the red and the blue. The rest kind of just falls together on its own. But yeah, depending on what you're working with, you can probably load in a source palette or one of the other preset palettes that come with Dither Boy. I'll also leave a video linked below for how you can get some new palettes if you want to. Now from here, because we've got the effects set up, you can now come to the chromatic aberration tab again and start to adjust this pattern that we were working with before and get some like different alignments of your dots, kind of like this. Or you can come to epsilon glow and continue like adjusting the threshold so that different colors are picked up depending on how bright they are. Or you can adjust the scale because that will also interfere with the chromatic aberration as well. So if you go all the way to 50, that's kind of where it stops looking dithered and it just looks textured. Once you land on something where you are able to pull these levers, so the levers being scale, chromatic aberration, and the epsilon glow threshold, once you've reached this point, scroll all the way down in your main controls, go to presets and click save preset. And I'm just going to name mine PS2 tutorial and hit save, because then once you have something else you want to load this on, like if you create your own version of the PS2 logo, like I've done, you don't have to build that whole thing up again. You can just go load your preset and you can load in your effect. Super easy. I think I might have got the colors wrong when I made my fake PlayStation logo because it's not applying quite the same, but I'm just going to swap this out for a totally different color palette actually. But yeah, this isn't a texture, or it's not just an overlay on top of your image. It is actually your image being rebuilt through the dithering algorithm and then doing the chromatic aberration and then the glow on the dithering algorithm to get this kind of effect where colors are being built up using these different variants of red, green, and blue all arranged in a pattern. So as a quick disclaimer, if you got tripped up at any point in this tutorial, the reason you probably got tripped up is if you have got your chromatic aberration on top of your glow. If we readjust those, the controls will stop being sort of how I made them out to be. So make sure your glow comes last and your chromatic aberration is just the first effect that goes on after the dither. I'll show you some other results that I got out of this on screen now. Yeah, this dithering algorithm is kind of like a little hidden gem, and maybe in a future update I might make some variations of this one that will work even better with this effect. So depending on when you're watching this, there might be some more options for getting this kind of texture on your image. But that's it for this video. If there's anything else you want to see, if there's anything I've made with Dither Boy that you would like a tutorial for, please let me know. Other than that, there's loads of other tutorials on the channel already. If you want to see how you could animate this effect, or how you can get some more color palettes, or how presets work, or anything else, there's loads of tutorials now. I think there's like nearly 70 or maybe even 80 now. So please subscribe. Please check out the rest of my tutorials for Dither Boy. Thank you for the support, and I will see you in the next video.